Hi everyone, my name is Melissa Murray and I'm the Equine Care Manager here at Equine Advocates.
And I'm Michele Jacobs, the Humane Educator here at Equine Advocates.
Today we wanted to talk to you about hoof care. With over 80 rescued donkeys, horses, and mules here at the sanctuary, hoof care is extremely important in part of our daily routine. As the old adage goes, no hoof,
no horse.
And that's why it's so important to make sure that hoof care is one of your top priorities. To start off with, you're going to make sure that you have a great working relationship with your farrier or your equine podiatrist. An equine podiatrist is a veterinarian that specializes in hoof care. And you want to make sure that horses receive a trim every 6 to 8 weeks.
Yes.
So now, why is that so important that they get trimmed?
Their hoof is made of keratin, the same thing that our hair and nails are made of, and just like our hair and nails, they grow.
So every 6 to 8 weeks, you want to make sure that you get your horse's feet trimmed, or if he wears shoes, you get him reshod. And it's because as the hoof grows, it'll grow in length.
And what happens when they have overgrown feet? Their body gets uneven, and that can lead to other issues.
Even though your horse's hooves are going to be trimmed every 6 to 8 weeks, you want to make sure that you're not going that long without inspecting them. In order to do this on a regular basis, you're going to make sure that you're picking your horse's hooves out.
Mm-hmm. That's what this wonderful little tool is for. And Melissa and I love this one the best. They have different styles, but this one has a nice little brush on the end, which we like.
So you'll see when we pick up this horse's foot, you're going to see the underside of their hoof. So this is what touches the ground, is the bottom of their hoof. Mm-hmm. And on the bottom of their hoof, you have the sole, which is this main portion here. And then we have the frog. Those are the two biggest structures that we find on the underside of the hoof. And the frog acts as the horse's shock absorber.
Yes, which is amazing. And it also pumps blood back up to the heart, which is super, super important. It's really important to take care of the underside of their feet.
So when we pick out their hooves, what we're going to focus on is the collateral groove. So this groove can get filled with dirt, rocks, and all sorts of other debris, and we want to make sure we clean it out because this part of the hoof can actually suffer from some really common ailments that we'll talk about at a later point because it can get a little bit complicated.
It can.
So you'll see we're going to start here with the pick on the hoof pick, and we're going to pull down towards the apex of the frog, which is the end of the little triangle. Most of them are shaped like a triangle. Mm-hmm. And we're going to clean them out first, going very gently. You don't want to dig too hard because the sole can be sensitive. A lot of horses will have specialized shoes put on with pads or lifts in them if they have very sensitive soles or thin soles. Right. And this helps protect the internal structures of the hoof.
The important thing to remember is that you do not pick the frog area with this sharp metal object. That's what this little brush is for.
Then we'll go around and do this to the horse's other 3 feet. We'll have examined his feet to see if there's any kind of debris in there that could be causing any discomfort. Mm-hmm. And after that, we'll move on to the next one. So Michele, let's go over what we learned today about hoof care. We know that our horse needs to have their hooves trimmed by a farrier or their equine podiatrist every 6 to 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. And we also learned that in order to maintain the best health for their hooves, that we should be picking them out. But how often should we pick their hooves out?
As often as possible. You should also know what the bottom of your horse's hoof looks like. That way you keep an eye on any changes.
That's so important to know because horses can suffer from a variety of ailments to their hooves. Some of them are benign and some are really serious. So you want to make sure that you get to know your horse's hooves just as well as you know the rest of your horse. We hope you enjoyed joining us today, learning about hoof care and what we do here at the sanctuary to maintain the health of all of our four-legged friends. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.